live from Bally's Atlantic City, it's showtime! Introducing to you first, ladies and gentlemen, the challenger. On my left, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white trunks with red trim, fighting out of Montreal, Quebec, Canada, by way of Cameroon. He weighed in at the junior welterweight limit of 140 pounds even. A 2000 Olympian, his professional record stands at 16 wins, 1 defeat, with 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the challenger, ranked the IBF #1 junior welterweight contender and known as the Black Panther, introducing Herman Ngujo. And his opponent across the ring on my right, fighting out of the red corner, the defending world champion, wearing black trunks with silver trim, proudly representing his hometown of Brooklyn, New York. He weighed in at a ready 139 pounds. His record stands at 23 wins, 1 defeat, 5 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight he is making the first defense of his title. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the IBF Junior Welterweight Champion of the world, introducing Paulie, the Magic Man Malignaggi. Once again, here's our referee in charge, Alan Huggins, now to give instructions. 12 rounds of boxing scheduled.
Center ring, gentlemen.
You'll take your cue from him.
You got it. Center ring. Gentlemen, this is for the IBF Championship of the World. I want you to obey my commands at all times, and most importantly, protect yourself at all times. Your belt's kind of low right here. I'll call that fair. All right? Touch him up.
They've been verbally sparring throughout. The time has come to fight. The champion, Paulie Malignaggi, has to be careful not to underestimate the hard-nosed challenger or be over-anxious to impress after the long 7-month layoff. Herman Ngujo, who looks like he's right out of Central Casting, carved, muscular, has to find a way to diffuse the lightning speed of the champion. Hard not to notice the stars in Ngujo's hair. That, in effect, says that Malignaggi may have the magic, but he can't be faster than a shooting star.
Always good to have a prop to help you make your point, isn't it? Even if it's on your head.
I've been thinking about it myself.
And you'd look attractive.
Let's see if Ngujo looks to get inside, apply pressure, invest to the body, try to slow Malignaggi down for the later rounds. Malignaggi, of course, slick, slippery. He'll stick and move. He's clever, able to avoid punches, gets in and out very quickly. And remember, if he is pressured, he showed a lot of toughness against Miguel Cotto. In fact, both guys gaining acclaim and defeat.
You know, there are two things that Herman Ngujo and his corner are worried about. One, you can see in evidence. It's a monstrous ring. It was actually set up smaller than it is now. And then the Malignaggi promoter said, we need it bigger. Well, it's very big. The mat is fast. And the other thing that Ngujo and his people are worried about, 3 American judges, 3 U.S. judges, because let's face it, most people think this fight is going the distance.
Yeah, originally it was like a 17-foot ring. Now it's out to 20, and of course, the way Malignaggi moves around the ring, he uses every inch of those 20 feet. Malignaggi said he'll put on a boxing clinic tonight. He may not knock Ngujo out, but says he'll punish Herman and show he's one of the fastest boxers in the world. He's got that purposeful jab. He does let his hands go. He likes to mix it up. And he does move around effectively. He says he won't run as much as he used to because now his hand is better.
Yeah, the right hand is healthier, and he said you can't stand in the pocket when you only can throw one hand. Now, one of the keys to this first round, and you see it, we're more than halfway through round 1. There's not been one moment that this match has been waged on the inside. Lovemore Endo had that problem for 12 rounds for the most part. with Malignaggi. For Ngujo to be effective, he's going to have to fight off Malignaggi's chest at least part of the time.
Malignaggi with a left hook over the top. He is just not an easy guy to face. You cannot let up against Malignaggi. Not a lot of guys want to get in there with him. Not likely we'll see a first-round knockout. Each has only one apiece. Malignaggi, his first pro fight, and Ngujo, his second. Between them, just 14 KOs in a combined 41 fights as Malignaggi targets the body. Malignaggi's last knockout, August of 2003. Under 20 seconds left in the first, scheduled for 12 for the IBF Junior Welterweight Championship. Malignaggi on the attack, has Ngujo on the ropes. Good opening round for the champion. Malignaggi so proud to have drawn comparisons to the legendary featherweight champion of the 50s, the great Willie Pep.
Yeah, there are many comparisons. Of course, inside the ring, Willie Pep was a defensive genius and had the excellent jab. Willie Pep in the white trunks, you see him use that jab just as we see Malignaggi use it now. And one other comparison, Pep's family from Syracuse, Sicily, exactly the same town that Paul Malignaggi's family comes from. So he's honored to be compared to him, and a couple other fighters that come to mind when you think of him. Also, Joey Archer and Willie Pastrana.
He goes down, you stay down. Okay, baby, beautiful. Very good, good round, very good. Very good, champ. Nice, stay nice with that. Hey, listen to me, this guy's not in your league, baby. You understand me? He's not in your league. Just stay focused, okay? Stay focused on what you're doing.
Former world champion Buddy McGirt, who trains numerous champions. Malignaggi says, hey, Buddy keeps my emotions in check, and he is a very emotional fighter.
Last two fights, McGirt has been working with him. It has been a very good marriage. They have found an identity for Malignaggi, and never was that identity so apparent as in round one. Yes, he boxed, yes, he moved, but he was a good offensive fighter in that round. Herman Ngujo has a huge problem here. Until he can get inside and work off the chest of Malignaggi, he's going to have a problem in the center of the ring.
Pretty good left hook there to the chest by Ngujo. Ngujo, similar in style to Malignaggi's last opponent, Lovemore Endo, but a younger version. And remember, Malignaggi won that fight by lopsided scores. He dominated. We'll see if it happens again tonight. To the body goes Malignaggi with the left, and for what it's worth, one common opponent, Donald Camarena, both unanimous decision wins, but Ngujo had some trouble with it.
He struggled with Camarena early in the match, then found his sea legs, but Malignaggi pretty much dominated him all the way through. There are two things that can change this fight on a dime. One would be a right hand by Malignaggi. He knocked down Endo with that punch, and the other would be a left hook, which is the punch that Ngujo used to knock down Randall Bailey in his last fight. So those would be the two big punches that might alter this fight dramatically. And there's a right by Malignaggi.
And in the past, the right hand has been a problem. As you heard in the interview with Malignaggi and Jim Gray, 9 fractures of the hand, 3 surgeries, screws inserted in the hand. For a while, he was a one-handed fighter.
Stand up. Let's go. Cut it out.
Said he got into bad habits with the right. Now trying to be more of a two-handed fighter. Says he's never felt better.
Go back. No punches. No punches. Good job. Let's go.
Malignaggi may be a light hitter, but often an entertaining boxer because he also does fight, and he can be physical. His power is improved. I guess as the hand gets better, he did drop Lovemore Endo.
Now there was an example, for the first time really, there was action on the inside for Ngujo, but he couldn't make the most of it and ultimately was tied up by Malignaggi.
Under 30 seconds remaining in round 2. The IBF Junior Welterweight belt at stake. First title defense for Paulie Malignaggi in the black and silver. The #1 mandatory challenger, his first world title shot in the white with the red trim, Herman and Gujo, 16-1, 9 knockouts.
Nice overhead right by Ngujo, but that's not his big knockout weapon.
Hey, let's check out what happened last night on Showbox. Biloxi, Mississippi was the scene for a showcase featuring the undefeated Peterson brothers. Lightweight Anthony Peterson battled Cuba's Jose Izquierdo. Anthony scored a knockdown in the 7th and then sent Izquierdo to the canvas twice in round 8. And before the fight was stopped with the knockout, Anthony Peterson running his record to 26-0 with 19 knockouts. Junior welterweight Lamont Peterson faced off with Brazil's undefeated Antonio Mesquita. Lamont dominated his opponent throughout the 10-round bout and came up with the unanimous decision, improving to 24-0.
And another Showbox show on Friday, February 1st at 11 p.m. Eastern. Showbox will feature Alfred Angulo, undefeated, making his 3rd appearance on Showbox, a Mexican Olympian against Ricardo Cortez, who's 18-1. And we should point out that Paulie Malignaggi, a Showbox alum, he got his start on that series.
Tonight he faces Herman Ngujo in Malignaggi's first world title defense. We enter round 3. And Ngujo basically, as you can see, fighting from the outside. Not a lot of side-to-side or angles, usually straight in, straight out. He's right in front of you or in close. Pretty good punching quickness with his jab and hook. When he gets in close and works and applies pressure, keeps those punches short and precise, much more effective, as he was against Castillo. Look out, left hook. Sent Ngujo back off balance.
What Ngujo has not been able to do is, and it was one of the important keys, is cut off the ring. He's been following Malignaggi around and not cutting the ring off, so the movement of Malignaggi is pretty much unfettered.
And Ngujo would like to take this thing deep. He's in great condition as he missed with the left. He has completed 10 marathons, so you know he's in good shape. His personal best, 2 hours, 32 minutes. It's pretty impressive.
His work rate, though, early in this bout for Ngujo has been much lower than we're used to seeing from him in his important fights. Part of that is because against the Baileys and the Castillos, nice right by Ngujo, but against the Baileys and Castillos, he could walk right in, Stephen. They wanted to engage him so he could throw a lot of punches. Not so here.
Now a little swelling developing over the left eye of Paulie Malignaggi.
That, I think, is from some of those right hands. And Ngujo has gotten in some rights during the course of this match.
Of course, it was the right side of his face against Miguel Cotto, June 06, that swelled up. Looked like he had gone one-on-one with a freight train, and in fact had surgery on the orbital bone as a result of that fight.
8 months off after that match to heal. Now he's had 7 months off before this one, the longest non-injury layoff he's had.
Oh, big right hand by Ngujo, right on the cheek. And Malignaggi comes back and misses. Best punch of the night offered by the challenger.
You know, sometimes in life, there's another right by Ngujo. I don't think anyone expected him to land that punch very much, but that has been his most effective punch in this fight so far.
Startled Malignaggi. That really got his attention. As if to say to himself, hey, this guy may have something.
And that's different than what they saw in tapes and in video and what they expected. So let's see how that works now.
And Ngujo going for the knockout punch there, but missing with the right hand. And Ngujo primarily targets upstairs, not a big body guy. An eventful round for Herman Ngujo.
Don't swing so much.
Well, for Ngujo, it was an interesting round on several levels. First, this slip when he was pushed back by Malignaggi. Ngujo has landed this punch. That one kind of glanced a bit, but it was still a good shot. And during the course of the round, he landed several. Later on, a better right hand for Ngujo as Malignaggi with his left low, which is a trademark, gets hit on the face by Herman Ngujo. So Ngujo's found a weapon that maybe they didn't think was going to be there as much. That's Howard Grant.
That's good work. Good work. You got to fuck
You got to keep hurting this guy.
You got to put the shots together.
Put them together too hard.
Let's say it throw. All right, you land big shot. Big shot here.
Good strategy by Ngujo as we get ready for round 4, trying to lure the champion into a fight. And of course, that's not what Malignaggi wants. You mentioned trainer Howard Grant, the former Canadian lightweight champ, working with his younger brother Otis, the former WBO middleweight titleist. And a southpaw who once fought Roy Jones. There in the corner of Ngujo.
In Paulie Malignaggi's corner, Buddy McGirt asking for a little more movement from him. In that round, he was a bit more stationary.
So let's see as Malignaggi goes down. That was a slip, a push, a slip, whatever you want to call it. No knockdown.
Now, there's a big hook by Ngujo. He's been able to land some punches from the outside that I think may surprise Malignaggi and some of his corner people.
Ngujo gaining confidence and turning this into a competitive affair.
And doing it in a way that's a little different from long range than we might have expected. The Malignaggi jab, by the way, has been not in evidence a lot in this round. And this has been a very good round for Ngujo, but there is that jab.
Ngujo connecting again on a left hook. Missing with the right. Again, Malignaggi able to use his elusiveness to get away from that punch. A game predicated on speed, defense. Here's a left hand by Ngujo that got in.
Malignaggi's jab has been much more sporadic in the last round and a half. And when that happens, his effectiveness decreases by a good percentage.
Ngujo backing Malignaggi up. Missing with the right cross. Malignaggi's left eye continues to swell, the result of a couple of straight rights by Ngujo. Now he looks to corner him, Ngujo, but Malignaggi holds on.
You know, there he's Ngujo roughing up Malignaggi in the corner, and you know, until the referee steps in, Alan Huggins. But you know, that's a good strategy on his part. You could even risk a point being deducted in order to kind of rough Malignaggi up.
And this is really no major surprise. I mean, we saw the tactics, the roughness, the toughness of Ngujo against Castillo and Bailey.
Now there's where Ngujo needs to work, and he did a little bit. Good round for Herman Ngujo, his best of the fight.
And Ngujo knows that Malignaggi can't hurt him, so he's staying right in there as the blood streaks down the left side of Malignaggi's face.
Hey, you gotta stay on the outside. You've been inside too much. Okay? Come on. You're making this harder than
well, it wasn't a knockdown, but it was kind of indicative, this slip, of how that round was a kind of a difficult one for Paulie Malignaggi. He would be, the legs would get tangled, and he would kind of get pushed. You see his foot not planted, and he was squared up against Ngujo, and he was kind of pushed down. That's indicative of some of the roughhouse tactics that Ngujo used in the round. Now, the left hook lands here. It wasn't a great punch, but one of the things it did was it actually stopped some movement by Malignaggi. That and the surprising right hands by Ngujo made that a good round.
Let's go, man. Let's take him a combination.
Looked like an unintentional headbutt causing the blood down the left side of Malignaggi's face in that last round as we go into round 5, and things are getting a bit on the compelling side here.
You know, Malignaggi had a terrific rhythm over the first 2.5 rounds. Then things started to go south a little bit, and it's one of the reasons is he is not keeping Ngujo off with his jab as you would expect.
This is really getting rough, and Ngujo is inflicting damage on Malignaggi.
There's the strong jab from Paulie Malignaggi, and that's so important for him.
Malignaggi, as usual, from the outside, flicking the jab. Didn't follow it up there. And Gujo out of range. A look at press row scoring. Franklin McNeil from the Newark Star-Ledger, Matt Richardson, FightNews.com, Joe Santo-Laquito from the Ring Magazine.
And I do have it 39-37 for Malignaggi, so I agree with two of the press row scores.
Nice jab by Gujo. Malignaggi missing with the left hook.
You know, for Gujo, 8 of his first 9 wins were by KO, but since then he's had 1 stoppage in his last 7 wins as the level of opposition goes up. Of course, Malignaggi with only the 5 knockouts. These are not big knockout punchers, so every round very important to them because it's likely to go to a decision.
Malignaggi with just 5 KOs and Gujo 9.
Go to that corner there. Go there, right there, right there. Get his shoes, get his shoes.
The right shoelace of Malignaggi undone. So a little bit of a respite, and it has evolved into a very interesting fight as the momentum has swung in Gujo's favor, although you may have noticed this now, Malignaggi looking into the crowd and nodding as if to say, don't worry, I got this thing under control. We shall see.
Well, this is a very close and I think pivotal round here because Gujo probably won that last one, and this is one that could turn it back a little bit for Malignaggi. It's been a close round.
Trying to see if the blood is going into the eye. It does not look like it's going into the left eye of Malignaggi. And of course, that was a major problem beginning of the first round against Miguel Cotto, and it was also the left eye.
Herbert, let it go, let it go. Okay, let's go.
And Gujo continues to fight from the outside. And he nailed him with a right hand from the outside, from way back. And that connected on Malignaggi.
Okay.
Final seconds of round 5. Malignaggi off the top of Gujo's head, didn't do any damage. Left hook missing. Back comes Gujo, and they tangle.
Good job, good job.
The action heats up.
I'm moving side to side, okay? Okay, now listen. You hit him with a nice right uppercut. Water, Pete. Water, baby. Okay, listen, you threw a nice uppercut inside, okay? Are you fine? You getting in your groove yet? Okay, just relax, baby. Listen, don't listen to the crowd, Paulie. Okay, you gotta start throwing double jabs, right hand. You gotta start giving me combinations inside, okay? Like, look, you can back this guy with head movement, okay? Going backwards, he can't fight going back, baby. So you gotta do is feint him double jabs. You're throwing one jab and you're pulling out. He's trying to set you up for the right hand over the top, okay? So when he goes down with the jab, you gotta stay down, Paulie, because that right hand's coming, okay? You're making it harder than it has to be, baby, okay? Yeah. You're winning, baby, but I need combination.
Good instructions from Buddy McGirt. Things seem to be tightening up here in Atlantic City. Remember, as you pointed out earlier, Al, all 3 judges are from the United States. And the American Paulie Malignaggi against the Cameroonian Canadian, Herman and Gujo.
6 months ago, he became a Canadian citizen, and he's happy to be. He's hoping after this fight to go back to Cameroon for the first time since 2001, when he came to Canada and left the Cameroonian team with a bit of a controversy and stayed in Canada. But he hopes to go back there after this fight, and he hopes to go back as a champion.
And not often you can say they speak a combination of English, French, and Cameroonian in a corner. That is the case with Gujo. And of course, in Malignaggi's corner, they speak Brooklynese.
Which you do, as a matter of fact.
Being from Brooklyn, I can say that.
Now, the headline right now of this fight is not enough jabs from Paulie Malignaggi. He is just not throwing that punch enough, and that almost just never happens to him. So it's an interesting lapse in concentration for him. I mean, when's the last time you saw him not throw jabs? Never.
Usually a very high work rate by Paulie Malignaggi, and I'm not sure if it's from him or it's from Ngujo, result of Ngujo, that it has been slow.
Now, Ngujo, for his part, has not taken advantage of it as much as he might. Here's where he's got to work, and he is working. But with those lack of jabs, Ngujo really should be getting closer to Malignaggi more than he is. So he may look back at some of these middle rounds at Ngujo and rue the fact, Steve, that he wasn't more aggressive.
Well, I think you used the expression well, and it's very apropos. Ngujo workmanlike, and it is paying off here against the normally workmanlike Malignaggi.
Step back. Step back, step back, step back.
But it's Ngujo of late, the last few rounds, who has outworked and out-hustled Malignaggi.
First 3 rounds, very good for Malignaggi. First 2.5 for sure. And the last 2.5, much better for Herman Ngujo.
There's a good jab by Ngujo right on the nose.
Countered the jab of Malignaggi, which is intriguing.
And Malignaggi misses with a right, ducks away, good left hook to the head by Malignaggi.
If you would have told me that Herman Ngujo was going to win 3 rounds without fighting off the chest of Malignaggi 80% of the time, I would have said you were crazy, but it's happened.
He's doing it from a distance, not from close range. Interesting. Now he backs Malignaggi into his own corner. Malignaggi squeezes out. Final seconds, round 6. Malignaggi missing 2 times. Then Ngujo missing at the bell.
Hey, champ, beautiful, beautiful, baby. Now you're boxing like Paulie now. Now you're getting in your rhythm. Now let's stay in the rhythm. You understand me?
Well, part of what Buddy McGirt's talking about was this. There's 2 really good jabs. The second one landing solid for Malignaggi, and a little later. And there, again, you see the jab going out. However, as we look at this, you see this is exactly what he wants to do, but has done not enough of it in the last 3 rounds. And for Malignaggi, it's very simple. We said it in the keys. You can't say it any simpler. Jab, jab, jab. And that's what he needs to do.
He's right there for it, baby. Okay, don't jump too far back. And don't pull back. Whatever you do, don't pull back. That's the only time he catches when you're pulling out. Okay? Let's go, baby. You're where you winning, baby. Okay? Okay, but the same way you made it easy that round, let's do it for the rest of the night. Okay, let's go, baby. Stay focused.
Stay focused. The final words of Buddy McGirt. Oh, heavy right hand on the head by Ngujo to open the round. That was a very precise punch by Herman Ngujo. And another right hand off the head of Malignaggi. Ngujo coming forward.
And you know, the way this match is shaping up, if Ngujo does get inside here and start working his way a little more and gets in his rhythm of working on the inside, it's really going to be tough for Malignaggi.
And a left hook and a straight right hand upstairs by Ngujo.
He may have hurt Malignaggi with that right hand.
Malignaggi holding on, continues to get whacked on top of the head by Ngujo.
A lot of holding.
Ngujo pouring it on, a barrage. Malignaggi holding onto Ngujo. And Ngujo returns the favor. Big sequence for the challenger in white, Herman Ngujo.
Alan Huggins not taking a very active role there in separating them, which he might have.
Another right hand by the 6-1 underdog, Herman Ngujo. Missing with the left hook there. The punch eluded by Malignaggi.
Hands-free. Let it go.
And you see now, look how much closer they are on a regular basis. That can only help Ngujo.
This is exactly what Ngujo wants. Because it is not Malignaggi's fight.
There's the body work by Ngujo. He's done so little of it in this match, but he's doing it now.
And then a leaping left hook. Couple of right hands by Malignaggi. We are seeing some interesting exchanges here. Oh, a right hand over the top by Ngujo. Another right, followed by a left.
He's an inside fighter, and he's showing you why.
And Gujo really opening up.
It's a pivotal moment for Paulie Malignaggi. Can he get back to doing what he needs to do? Will he be lured into a slugfest? Nice shots by Malignaggi, but again, stylistically, this favors Ngujo.
And also, the longer this fight goes, you have to wonder if it favors Ngujo. Here's a right hand by Ngujo.
And all the holding being done by Malignaggi at some point could bring a warning or even a point deduction from the referee.
Both off 7-month layoffs, but big right hand over the top by Ngujo. Ngujo's a marathoner. He's in incredible condition, but then again, Malignaggi also prides himself on conditioning. Watch out, hitting behind the head. The warning from Huggins to Ngujo. A lot of action in that last round.
Listen, you got to stop going to your left. He's hitting you with that counter right hand all night.
1 second. Fire. You okay? You want to go on? Yeah, I'm fine. I just got an eye, but I'm just... let me take a quick look at it.
And point, listen to me. You got to move to
Well,
your
and
right.
Ngujo has made the right hand a much bigger weapon than anyone expected. And right at the beginning of that last round, there was a powerful right hand. Look how he goes for the uppercut on the inside. This is a boxer that when he gets inside knows how to throw combinations. And now later on in the round, again, shots from the outside. There's another right hand. That one stunned Malignaggi. And yet another on the inside. At the end of the round, Ngujo was still attacking and on the inside, throwing that little counter right hand and doing a very good job. Working also in that round a little bit more to the body, which is a key element. And there you see he was getting ready to do it, Ngujo. Well, the plot has thickened, hasn't it?
Yes, indeed. That counter right hand continues to hammer away at Paulie Malignaggi, whose reactions and reflexes just don't seem to be where they usually are with him. Round 8, scheduled for 12 for the IBF Junior Welterweight or 140-pound championship. Malignaggi with his first title defense. And Ngujo, his first world title shot, looking to derail the dreams and hopes of Malignaggi.
And you know, this is shades of the Cotto fight a little bit in this sense. Malignaggi, when things go south for him sometimes, will stop the boxing and stay in the pocket. That's what he's doing right now. He felt he had to do that against Cotto. But here, maybe he does too, because he knows he's lost some rounds. It's a very close fight, though. I wouldn't be standing in the pocket if I was Paulie Malignaggi. I'd be moving and jabbing and doing exactly what got him here, but he's not.
He said he did that mostly because he freaked out when he saw it was a very small ring. Here he has a huge ring.
He's got a big ring, and the lesson he supposedly learned in the Cotto fight was you have some rounds in the bank, you can box. He's got, for sure, 3 rounds probably in the bank in this fight. He's probably down by 1 point in this match, maybe, or maybe it's even, but it's certainly a close fight.
And I'm not sure everybody noticed it, but in the midst of everything going on in the corner, the doctor came in and asked Malignaggi, are you all right? Would you like to continue?
That was intriguing. That one was puzzling because he wasn't badly hurt in that round.
Watch your head, Herman.
Yeah, Malignaggi kind of looked at him like, what are you kidding?
You know, and Ngujo's in some danger on one front because he's throwing these right hands. Malignaggi is twisting his head around, and some of those right hands are getting to the back of the head of Malignaggi, and he's already received a warning, Ngujo, about hitting behind the head from Alan Huggins.
Alan Huggins out of Egg Harbor, New Jersey. Getting a nice opportunity here in a championship fight. Big exchange here, and it's Malignaggi who slipped in a nice left hand.
Pretty close round here.
30 seconds remaining in number 8.
This is a round that's there for the taking by either man.
Watch that shoulder, watch that elbow.
Shoulder elbow action there by Ngujo. Not the first time. Long right hand that connected by Ngujo. And then a beautiful left hook by Ngujo on the inside, and Malignaggi walked into that one. Something you don't see very often. A running left hook that was partially blocked by Malignaggi. Wow, how do you score that one?
Very, very close round.
You give a feint step over to your right. He can't do nothing with you with that. Okay? Don't pull out, Paulie. When he's shooting that jab to your body, don't pull back. That's what he's looking to catch you with. Okay? All right, now let's stay focused. You get in the rhythm. Now let's keep it up, baby. Here you go. So nice relax. That's how.
Well, this fight is getting rougher and rougher in so many ways, and their heads came together. Now, that was accidental because there was a right hand being thrown by Ngujo, and the heads just came together. So it certainly was not intentional, but it could have caused damage to either man. Probably more to Malignaggi, if anyone. It was on the left cheekbone of Malignaggi. And you see the work on the inside by Ngujo. Malignaggi just holding, but Ngujo is conditioned, Steve, to work when he gets on the inside.
And remember the broken orbital bone from the Cotto fight regarding Malignaggi, Al. Perhaps Malignaggi is saying to himself now, what would Willie Pep or Joey Archer or Willie Pastrano do?
I hope he's saying that to himself, because what they would do is try and establish their jab, still box, still be who they are. Now, part of this is the work rate of Malignaggi is not as much as it should be. There's a couple of jabs. They've been more sparse than they should be. Could there be an issue with the layoff? Is he ready physically to fight? I don't know.
No punches, no punches.
And make no mistake, this is a close fight right now. This could be going either way. And let's see.
Yeah, after 8 rounds.
Wow. Okay.
Well, one of them, McNeil from the Newark Star-Ledger, has Malignaggi by 4 points. The other have it by 2.
I've got a 2 points for Herman Ngujo. I think it's, now I can understand it being a close fight. The 4 points surprises me. And make no mistake, Malignaggi has boxed well, and there have been some close rounds, but the tenor of the fight in the last few rounds has been better for Ngujo, though in this 9th round, Malignaggi has done better.
Let it go, let it go.
Nice jab by Malignaggi. And Ngujo able to block those punches.
Malignaggi in this round has used his jab much more than he did in the 8th and 7th rounds. And there's a nice left hook by Malignaggi. A punch, as I said at the beginning, he should throw sparingly so he doesn't get countered by Ngujo. This has been a round in which Ngujo has allowed Malignaggi to reestablish that boxing that we talked about.
Ngujo may be looking for a second win right here. A little bit of a breather. Good jab by Malignaggi.
Step back. Let's go.
Under a minute remaining in round 9.
Let him go. Break.
A lot of holding on the inside by Malignaggi. And Alan Huggins, I'm a little surprised he hasn't given him a little bit of a warning about that.
Malignaggi's fans trying to urge him on, making the trip from Brooklyn.
See, when Malignaggi punches in combination, as he did a moment ago, he's very, very effective. And this has been a good round for Paul Malignaggi.
Yeah, Malignaggi going back to basics. Speed, boxing, defense. Jab.
Pick it up, Herman.
We said at the beginning of the round, what would Willie Pastrano, Joey Archer, and Willie Pep do? They'd do this.
Interesting that was brought up at that point, and it looks like he may have been thinking the same thing. Well, the rematch was better than the original. Can Vasquez Marquez 3 transcend them all? Vasquez turns it up. Right hand by Marquez up top.
Well, Rafael Marquez won the first fight with his power. The second fight, he was too much of a risk taker, and Israel Vasquez stopped him. What will happen in the third? The second fight already being named by some people as fight of the year.
Okay? Okay, this is where we find our groove, baby. Okay, but Paulie, you have to go to your right and you got to keep this left hand up. Don't go to your left. You got me? All right, let's go. Let's go, baby.
The team of Buddy McGirt and longtime cutman Danny Milano in the corner of Paulie Malignaggi. Buddy always with the instructions, usually right on.
Now, you know what's interesting? Give Buddy McGirt all the credit in the world. They came into this match thinking the left hook of Ngujo was the best outside punch. So, of course, you don't want to move to your right into it. But in this fight, they've seen the right has been good. So McGirt's saying, do not move to your left. That was not the plan they came in with, but that's an adjustment they've had to make.
Go back, no punches, no punches.
Paulie Malignaggi, the champion, 23-1 with 5 knockouts. The only loss to Miguel Cotto, the brutal unanimous decision, June 06. Herman Ngujo in the white, the #1 mandatory, first title shot, 16-1, 9 knockouts. His only loss to Jose Luis Castillo, a split decision, January 07, 2 fights ago.
The work rate of Herman Ngujo, not as much as he would like. You know, he's got an opportunity here because he's not facing a Paulie Malignaggi who's as in rhythm as he would like to be. But this is a perfect example of a round in which Malignaggi's been able to really control the round with some jabs and occasional right hand thrown in because Ngujo is not trying to bull rush his way in so he can work on the inside.
Midway through round 10.
Nice uppercut by Malignaggi. That's a punch they would like to land as Ngujo kind of comes in with his head and dips it down. Very good tactical round for Malignaggi.
As soon as Ngujo goes on the offensive, Malignaggi tied him up.
Herman Ngujo has thrown, I'm going to say, 10 or 12 or 13 body punches in this whole fight, and that's a big mistake on his part. Especially the left hook, because that leads to the left hook to the head when he doubles with that left hook on the inside. There he goes to the body.
Nice right uppercut on the inside by Malignaggi, right on the chin.
Malignaggi has thrown some right hands, but fewer than you would expect. So we don't know if that is an indication the right hand's bothering him, which, as we've pointed out in this match, it can do because of the injuries he's had.
Al, summing it up to this point. Not vintage Paulie Malignaggi, but seems to be ahead.
He might be. It's a very close fight, and you're right. It's not vintage, but it could be enough to get him by at this juncture.
A lot of activity by Ngujo, keeping it busy.
Call Amon, applaudez pas. Toi, Gamela, comprends? Listen to me. Herman, 2 rounds. We got 2 rounds left. The fight is very open. Bring the up. Come on. Herman.
Howard Grant trying to rally his man.
We need these 2 rounds.
Now, this is an example of good corner work because Buddy McGirt asked for these uppercuts, and an example of a fighter listening and trying to execute. That was an uppercut earlier in the round, and then later on in the round, as Ngujo came in, again the uppercut by Malignaggi. So Paul Malignaggi thinking, trying to execute in there, and in the last several rounds has really gotten his poise back.
Keep him going back, but attack from his left, which is your right. You got it? Hands up, baby. Let's go. Back him up a little bit now.
As we head into round 11, let's see if he heeds the advice of Mr. McGirt and tries to make the challenger backpedal.
Now, Howard Grant urging his man to be more aggressive, pick up the pace, and that's exactly what he needs to do. And Ngujo needs to get in there and throw punches. Combinations on the inside, I still believe, would be the key to him winning this fight, even though he's been a little more effective from the outside. That's what he needs to do right there.
Do that again, okay? Let's go.
Look out, he's going to take a point away.
See, I just don't think Herman Ngujo has been so rough inside that he merits the kind of chastising that Alan Huggins has given him. I really don't.
He has offered up a few elbows and shoulders, and I think Huggins is starting to get fed up as we go into the championship round.
Oh, small technicality. So rough. You're so picky, Steve Albert.
I'm so sorry. I'm trying to get the new year off on an honest note.
All right.
Not that I'm not honest before, but...
These rounds, you know, there have been 4 or 5 rounds in this match. Very close, tough to judge, and that's why the scoring could be very interesting. As you see where these boxers have been in past the 10th round. Clearly, more experience than one man.
Time. Get in that corner. Come here, Paulie.
There goes that right shoelace again from Malignaggi. So both fighters get a respite once again. It's the second time that's happened.
Come on.
Time back in now. And Ngujo's last 7 fights all going to the 12th. 6-1.
So these are supposed to be the rounds he should do better in. Now that was a wild uppercut by Malignaggi. And now the action getting more on the inside. Let's see if Ngujo can take advantage of it. This 11th round is a key one for him.
And now conditioning stamina really becomes a factor. Both fighters coming off the long 7-month layoffs. Who will it affect more?
Now Ngujo is able to get inside, throw combinations, and Paulie Malignaggi not moving as much. Could he have stolen this 11th round, Ngujo, with some of these inside combinations? Good body work by Ngujo. A little late in this fight to do it, but still it's effective.
Nice left hook. Yeah, something we haven't seen enough of from Ngujo. And a fight that has the appearance, at least from this vantage point, of being very close on the scorecard.
I would think it is. And I would think this 11th round is one that could go in the corner of Herman Ngujo. A good start in the round for Malignaggi, but the last minute and a half, Ngujo has been very effective.
2 judges from Jersey, Al Bennett, Steve Weisfeld, Kenny Chevalier from Maryland. Kenny also a referee. Right uppercut, straight right to finish the round by Malignaggi. 11 in the books.
Again, the heads banging together. Now that was Ngujo coming up with his head, and that one, you might be able to make a case it was roughhousing on his part. That's the first one that looked semi-intentional. And the action toward the end of the round, that's the uppercut by Malignaggi, that double right hand that was very effective. But it came after a very good period in that round for Herman Ngujo.
Okay, he's going to be death with this round. You stay focused and do everything we worked on, damn it. You got it? No playing around. Look at me. 3 minutes, champ. 3 minutes, baby. Okay? Give it to me. Hold on. To the right.
A sense of urgency in the corner of Paulie Malignaggi. Round 12, the 12th and final round for the IBF Junior Welterweight Championship. It could be on the line riding on this round. Who knows?
Let me tell you what Paulie Malignaggi is doing now. It's very dangerous. He's throwing uppercuts from way back. That will leave you open to a counter left hook. And then Ngujo might just be able to get that punch in. Malignaggi has to be very careful not to throw that punch.
Don't stop. Let's go.
Paulie Malignaggi, a 6-1 favorite going into this fight with his hands full. A left hand there that got in by Ngujo. Ngujo with rat-a-tat-tat. Good right hand in that sequence by the challenger. It's been all Ngujo so far here in the 12th.
Howard Grant told Ngujo to go out and press this action, make the pace of this 12th round a strong one, and he's trying to do that.
Malignaggi looks weary.
Well, and no jabs from Paulie Malignaggi. And, of course, he's not gone 12 rounds nearly as often as Ngujo has.
Malignaggi's been 12 rounds 2 times. He's 1-1. And as mentioned, Ngujo.
Huge jab. Excuse me, Steve. A huge jab by Ngujo. And that's been kind of an underused weapon for him. When he's thrown it, it's been effective. But Ngujo is doing well in this 12th round.
It's been Ngujo's round. Let's see if Malignaggi can rally here in the second half of it. Now he's holding on. Malignaggi looks tired. The crowd chanting Paulie to get behind the champion.
You can tell more energy from Ngujo. Malignaggi wants to try and counter him coming in. Hasn't been as effective in this round as he would like to be. At least some movement from Malignaggi, though.
And Ngujo looks to be in better shape. Here in the final seconds.
Ellen Huggins not giving them much of a chance to fight on the inside. And I got to tell you, he's manhandling Herman Ngujo too much. Just telling you, that's a fact.
Malignaggi holding on to try to avoid those punches. In the past, you'd see him be elusive to avoid those punches.
There's the nice uppercut from Malignaggi, but not enough to win in this round, I don't believe. So this should be a very interesting decision.
We come up on 10 seconds remaining in the 12th and final round of this IBF Junior Welterweight Championship. Who's it gonna be? Malignaggi or Ngujo? It's that close.
Good job, good job, good job. Good job, Paul.
Ngujo all smiles. Malignaggi salutes the crowd. It remains to be seen who won.
There were a number of rounds in this match that were very, very close. If Paulie Malignaggi did enough boxing in those rounds to win, he wins. If they think Ngujo was able to get inside, or not so much inside, but just do enough singular power punching, then he's going to win because he won those rounds.
Or could it be a draw?
That's exactly how I have it scored. So
really?
I believe it could be. But I don't think either man, you could make a strong case for either man winning this bout.
Not today, guys.
I would have no argument with either one.
Yeah, and I think it's a very close fight. Herman Ngujo, though, one thing he will take away, I think, from this match is stylistically he didn't fight his match as much as he could have, and I think it would have been possible as we see them embrace it.
Well, they're obviously pleased in the corner of Herman and Ngujo. They think they've got the title. And it would be a big upset.
When you come in a 6-1 underdog, it would be a big upset. You said it best, Steve. Not vintage Paulie Malignaggi, so maybe enough to get by, but not his best effort. But honestly, Herman Ngujo, I don't think he executed their plan as well as they would have liked either. But he was very aggressive, and he came up with some surprises. More overhand rights than anybody thought he could land, and better jabs than anyone thought he could land. So Howard Grant has to be happy with that part of his fighter's performance.
We are set for the official decision. We send it up into the ring. Our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Steve Weisfeld, scores about 115 to 113. Judge Kenny Chevalier sees it 116 to 113. And judge at ringside, Al Bennett, scores about 116 to 111. All three in favor of the winner. And still champion Paulie, the Magic Man Malignaggi.
He holds on to the belt. No surprise, as we said, going into the scores. Could have gone either way. Would have been satisfied either way. I think perhaps Steve Weisfeld had it the most accurate, Al.
I would agree, and both these boxers, I think, will look back at this and say there were some things they could have done better, but for Paulie Malignaggi, it ends up being a W. For him, that's most important. But again, that left eye an issue, as you see, as it has been in recent fights.
Yes, it has. And Paulie Malignaggi's first win of 2008, and he wants to keep it going. His first successful defense. Let's get it up into the ring right now, and our Jim Gray. Jim?
All right, Steve, thank you very much. Paulie, as you get your belt on your first title defense, congratulations to you. How did you feel the scoring went? Did you feel as though you'd won the fight?
I felt I'd won the fight. It wasn't one of my better performances. Herman's got a little bit of an awkward style. I thought he was going to be a little more aggressive, but he chose to counterpunch. So it wound up sometimes maybe trying to rush things a little too much because I thought he was going to lead. So in waiting for him, I wound up leading when I shouldn't have sometimes, and I ended up lunging and getting hit with some counter shots. So I could have looked a lot better, but Herman kind of tricked me a little bit.
Were you rusty from the 7-month layoff?
I definitely think that had a little bit to do with it. I'm a fighter that needs to be busy. I got to stay in the gym, which I always do anyway, but I got to stay busy and get fights because I'm a reflex-type fighter. So reflex-type fighters need to stay busy to keep our reflexes sharp.
Did you feel as though he hit you with the better shots, the more powerful shots in this fight?
In some rounds, the rounds he won, he did. Not all the rounds, because there were some rounds where he didn't hit me with anything. So therefore, I got to win those rounds. I didn't get hit. But the one round, he did buzz me a little bit. He got me with a good shot. I don't know what. Did you hit me? A right hand, left hook, something like that?
He hit you with the right hand. Let's bring Herman in here. Herman, your feelings on the decision. Do you feel as though you had won the fight?
I feel I won the fight, but he's a champ. I appreciate it. He's a champ. He was holding me too much, but it's okay.
3 American judges. Do you think that played a role at any of this?
Yeah, I think so. Because I was in the place and it was too. I was for win him. I was knocking up to win. But
did you feel as though you were in control of the fight, particularly in the 11th and 12th rounds, or did you feel as though you had to score a knockout?
Yeah, sure. I was feeling bad. He was holding me every time. But I would give a punch. I would give it more punch. But I don't know what happened with the judges. It's okay. I'm going to come back.
Were you ever hurt in the fight?
No, I never hurt in the fight. But I know I hurt him so much time.
Would you like another fight? Would you like a rematch?
Yeah, I like a rematch. Okay. Sure.
Let's ask Paulie about that. Would you give him a rematch?
Yeah, if we can make money talks, make dollars and cents, man. And I've waited so long. I've paid my dues and won a world title finally after 6 years. I had hand injuries. Nobody believed in me all these years. Finally won a title, so I want to be compensated by making the money I deserve, If there's money in a rematch, I'll definitely fight a rematch. Herman's a worthy challenger. He fought a great fight. He didn't win the fight. I don't think he won the fight. He did buzz me in the one round. I will admit that. But, he's a good fighter. He'll be back. I think he'll be back. If it makes dollars and cents, we can do a rematch. If not, I want to get the money fights, man. Like I said, I've got injuries that are going to probably last me the rest of my life. I got injuries to my face from the Cotto fight and my hands.
Did your hand bother you tonight, the right hand?
A little bit late when I started landing the uppercuts, actually. I found a home for the uppercut, but in turn, I got a little bruise on the right hand. But maybe if I would have found a home for that uppercut earlier, I might have hurt him a little bit. But those late uppercuts kind of stung my hand a little bit. When I take this off, I might be a little swollen, but nothing bad, I don't think.
Paulie, congratulations.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it. And Showtime, thank you, Ken Hirschman, and everybody out there. Thank you.
All right, back